in their life because they don't have food, they don't have water, clean water, or nothing over there. So I went over there the first time we went to the hospitals where children were having all kinds of tubes hanging out of them. We prayed with them, and it was about 50. We would just take like a little thing of cookies in there, and we'd ask the parents, is there any way we could play with your children? And they would let you, 90% of them would, and you'd give them that little pack of cookies, and they were just so thrilled to get a pack of cookies. And I'm thinking, okay, if that's all it takes to get in here. Then we went to trash dumps. We went up in villages and stuff, and it was awesome. I'll just give you one experience that I had traveling and praying with people all over we're in 5 nations now, but this lady was in her hut, and she was just sitting there, and I said, baby, is there anything I can help you with? And she said, I can't walk. And I said, what do you need? She said, well, if I had some way of getting up. She said, and I said, okay, I'm going to go get you some crutches. They were $60. I went all the way 5 miles walking to get her those crutches. I come back to her hut, and I said, baby, let me help you up. And I helped her up on her crutches. Man, she started taking off. She was the happiest lady, just over a pair of crutches that you do for them over there. It was amazing to see that. So I told the Lord, I said, you know, if you want me to do mission work, I mean, I've taught teenagers 38 years in Gospel Temple Church and stuff. I thought that was going to be my life story, was just doing that. Well, on the way back from Baker in this ministry over there, the Lord spoke to me, just as like I'm talking to you now, and He said, I want you to do food and water projects. I said, food and water projects? What would that? But then I realized they don't have clean water. They drink water where cows has been in there just to survive. They can't help it. They have to try to do that. They can't grow a garden because you either have monsoon weather or it's so hot you can't grow anything. But I said, Lord, I'll do what you want me to do. I said, I surrender to do your work, and I appreciate the 38 years of working with teenagers and stuff like that. So I told the Lord, I said, now I'm going to do this, but I need you to get me in some type of a business that I can work and make the money. Because I'm not going to go around here in big churches and people to give to help with the ministry. Because a lot of people come up to me, why are you going over there to Africa and working? You got a lot of stuff here needs to do. I do homeless shelters here. I let them talk for a minute, and then I looked at them and I said, what are you doing for Jesus? Then they shut up. They didn't want to say anything after that. But He got me in, we were here, and Jeannie was doing this store, and it got so big what I was wanting to do that Jeannie took over this store, the mattress store, and then I got in the outdoor furniture business. I had some wood products, and then I started getting the big products, and the first year it just took off. I thought, my gosh, Lord, you're really providing for this. Well, I was sitting there, I thought, well, maybe I need to do some work in a beach somewhere. So I went to Panama City. The Lord led me to a little trade day like thing that they had. I sat up there and drove down there every Saturday. Got there on Friday night, slept in my truck, and then I went and done then I'd set up and do the furniture. Well, man, people were just coming by, and then people from across the beach side started coming over because this was in Gulf Shore City, not in the beach. And so the Lord started sending people, and I was just fixing to close up one Saturday. It was kind of sprinkling rain, and that little hickory set around there was out there. I had one of them with me, and a lady come up. The Lord sent her to me, and she said, I want to buy that set. And I said, okay. And after we got it loaded, she said, would you think about putting your furniture in front of my store? She has the biggest consignment shop in Panama City Beach. So I said, yeah, let me, and I waited a week. I talked to the Lord, and I just felt like I needed to do it. So I said, okay, I'm going to do that. I set up all this furniture. First year, I did $100,000. I started crying. I said, Lord, I've never made that kind of money working for a public job, more or less. you just supplying this. So we went over there, we do wells right now that, in Pakistan, they can range from 300 to 500. You can pump it, the water in their buckets and send them on their way. We got some places in Pemba, Mozambique that we do them. We do some in Togo, Africa. That's where we're doing a lot of stuff right now. It is one of the poorest nations in the world. I mean, them people have zero, nothing. So when we started doing wells over there, because we had to send engineers out to cruise the land to find the best place to have the most water coming in, we would end up getting that, and we'd have to build towers and stuff. So it was at $12,000. So we did 2 wells that cost us 12. Most of them like in Kenya, and we got another several nations. But anyway, there's $6,000 to do it. So it's expensive, and I guess the Lord knew that whenever He put me in this type of business. And this took off. I'm 71 years old. I go today to find out if I'm still cancer free or not, because I had gave them the stuff. The labs was taken 2 weeks ago today, and I never got a call back. It seems like it's kind of unusual, but they may be busy. But I'm headed to Texas, so I'm gonna swing in there and see if I can see the doctor and make sure everything's okay and go on. So y'all just pray for me. The Lord's just been so good. I never would have thought about in my life, because I've been through blood and bone cancer. I had a ruptured appendix with gangrene. The Newmans in Gadsden, after 2 weeks, they said, you've got to get to the hospital. I went in there, and gangrene, if it ever gets out of your body, you're gone. Well, the Lord kept that confined in that same place. They took me up at 9 o'clock at night, got it out, and said, well, we don't know if we're going to have to go back in or not, but the Lord was right ahead of me. It didn't have to. I stayed in the hospital 4 days, and I went there and went away. But then I had this bad infection come up, and they didn't know where it was coming from. And my doctor said, I don't know what to do. Well, a doctor that's on my mission team, and he's in New York, he said, you get Andy to UAB hospital right now. I went in there and went through all kinds. They said, we don't know if we can save you, but we'll do everything we can. So I ended up staying in there 6 days. They put up light and everything down there. They got that cleared up. But they said, we got another problem. They said, you've got a leaky valve, so we're going to have to go in at some point. So he sent me to the right, because he graduated from UAB, so he knew all the doctors and stuff. So he told me to go see Clifton Lewis, and sure enough, I went. And then he said, you don't have any blockage, so if you want us to, we can make 3 incisions on your side. We don't have to do the open heart and all that. So he done that for me. In 4 days, I was walking out of there. So it's just like everything that the devil's tried to do to kill me, the Lord has gave me life. And that's all I can really say. I mean, I'm just thankful to keep doing the work.
Tell them the story of the lady that tried to give you her baby in Africa.
Yeah,
that was really nice.
Yeah, when I first started, we'd go in Togo when I carried a bunch of stuff over there. We always send like medicines. We get all these pharmacy people are so good. I take drums of medicine. We put it on in clothes, flip flops, all that, and put it on containers. And it goes from Atlanta to Savannah and then straight across. And we can get there in 8 weeks. And we go over and do that. Well, we went to visit some people around the house, and a lady had a little girl. She kept running up to me and wanted me to hold her, and I would hold her. And that lady looked at me, would you take my baby home with you? That was the hardest thing. I said, ma'am, I would love to, but I have so much work, I can't do that right now. But that really touches you when we go there. I go to the Dollar Tree. I take beads. I take balloons. I do all this stuff and go out there and play with over 300 children. They call me Papa because they can't believe that somebody would come all the way from Alabama over here and do this for these people and stuff. So it's just an amazing journey. I just can't say enough. I mean, every night I'm just about crying because God is just so good to me. And I mean, if I left here today, I would go down and run down them streets of gold, and I would hug Jesus around the neck for what He's done in my life. I I mean, I'm writing a book right now. I've got all my cousins and, people that I went to college with in Alabama and stuff to submit pictures and stuff so I can get that done. But thank y'all for coming, and I appreciate it. And if I can ever help y'all or pray with you about anything, just feel free to call on me. And we got furniture. I don't know why I got into these appliances, but Lord opened up the door. I got 7 board members, and 2 of them were pastors, and so they all said, yeah, you need to do that. You're already in the household furniture. So just went ahead and done that. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to share or say? A lot of y'all I've known a while.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I know that your business funds your mission work. Tell us a little bit more about all this furniture in here.
Well, the furniture is called Hollywood. If you've never seen any, it's permanent, maintenance free. You never have to do anything to wash it off. Because I sell in Panama City, Gulf Shores, and Gatlinburg. We have to use the stainless steel hardwood because you can't weather the salt air and stuff at the beach or wherever if you don't use that. But we try to stay on top of it. We have so many orders of table sets and stuff. I don't have any of them because we sold out of those and stuff. But yeah, we do them in several colors. You know, a lot of people just, you know, to their decor of their house, they want stuff to go on their porch, their docks, just wherever.
Great furniture for people living on WEIS Lake.
Yeah, the only problem I've ever had with putting something on WEIS Lake is they put it down on their dock, and a fisherman, I guess bass fisherman or something, come by, he flipped it over in his boat and took it off.
Oh.
That's the only way they could have got it. I mean, that's the only way. But so you have to secure it, I think, to put it down there, because this is nice stuff. I mean, 10 years I've been doing this, I've never had anybody call me back with a problem.